This is test review 1 for the Unit 10 volume, and the first thing we'll cover is questions 1 through 6, which are, let's see, there's our equations. And on these equations, the easiest way to tell the difference between each of these is to first look at the base formula. So for letter A, you can see that the base of this shape has to be a circle. And because we are looking at 1/3 of base area times height, it must be a circle that comes to a point, which is a cone. And then the next one, 1/2 of length times width, that's a triangle. So that must be a triangular prism. That's the only thing we learned with a triangular prism. The next one is just length times width is the base. That's a rectangle. But this says 1/3 of base area times height. That means this shape comes to a point and has a rectangular base. That would be a pyramid or a rectangular pyramid. Letter D, this is a circular base again because the base area is pi r squared and the volume is just base times height. That would be a cylinder. And then this is our unusual one, 4/3 pi r cubed. That has to be a sphere. And then we're down to the last one, a regular rectangular base, and the volume is just base area times height. That'd be a rectangular prism. So there's one way to tell the difference between the formulas. For this section right here, I'll just go ahead and write the answers out for you. You can go ahead and read through these after you try to find these and verify that you are getting the correct answer and matching up the correct definition with the vocabulary word. Okay, let's go to number 13. Directions are: show all your work for all problems. Write your final answer in the box provided. In fact, actually, class, you're not going to see a box on any of these. I've changed this now. So now just make sure you circle your answer. Just circle your final answers. Round your final answer to 1 decimal place and be sure to include the correct unit of measure. So let's go ahead and go to the first one. I'll do this one with you and then you can work on 14 and 15 on your own. So here we go. Find the volume. This is a rectangular prism. I'm going to go ahead and just pick the bottom as my base, which means 7 inches is my height. Remember our strategy, we're going to find the base area first, which is length times width. That is going to be 6 times 9, which is equal to 54 inches squared. Remember, class, once you circle your height, it will never be part of the base measurement. And that's why I have you circle it, so you know that's going to be separate. You never want to have 7 show up in more than one place. It's always going to be in the height line, because it can't be part of the base if it's the height. And then our volume is going to be equal to base area times height, which is equal to 54 times 7. 54 times 7 is 378, and that is inches cubed. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a box around that final answer. And there's the first one. So on these problems, even though I'm only going to give you the answer on the ones that are similar problems, make sure you show me your base area calculation, your height, and then your final volume, and write the formulas, class. Write the formulas. This will keep you from making a lot of easy mistakes, like forgetting to put 1/3 in the volume of a cone or a pyramid, forgetting to put 1/2 length times width for a triangular prism. All right. Yeah, just again, one more note on that one. The papers or the tests I see the most mistakes on are the ones that just quickly scratch a bunch of numbers down and then write an answer rather than organize your work. You'll have time to organize your work on the test. So pause the video right now and I would suggest that you do 14 and 15 on your own. Okay, hopefully you've tried number 14 and 15. Number 14, the volume is going to be 1104 millimeters cubed if you've worked out your work. The base area should be 138 millimeters squared if you chose the bottom of this rectangular prism as the base, and then the height would be 8 millimeters. Make sure you shade the base and circle the height. And then when you try question number 15, your final answer is going to be 1100 centimeters cubed. That should be your final volume. The base, if you chose the bottom of this rectangular prism that happens to be oblique, if you chose the bottom, the base area would have been 55 centimeters squared, and the height would be 20 centimeters. This shows you that this is measuring the distance between the two bases. Alright, so there is question number 14 and 15. Let's go to number 16. Number 16 we'll do together. This is a triangular prism. So first thing I'm going to do is pick a triangle as a base. I'm going to go ahead and just pick the bottom here. So my dimensions are 27 feet and 8 feet. That means 16 feet is my height. It's also, again, the distance between my two bases. For a triangular prism, our base is a triangle. That means it's 1/2 of length times width. Hang on one second. Alright, 1/2 of length times width, which is equal to 1/2 of 27 times 8. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator here. Let me move this over. So 1/2, so I'm going to put in parentheses 1 divided by 2, close my parentheses, and then I'll put 27 in parentheses, and then I'll put 8 in parentheses. Some of your calculators might require you to press the multiply key in between these terms, and most of them they will not. And the answer here is 108. So my base area is 108 feet squared. My height, I circled that. That's 16 feet squared. And my volume is going to be just like a rectangular prism, base area times height, which is 108 times 16. 108 times 16 is 1728. And then it's volume, so it's going to be feet cubed. And I'll put a box around that. Okay, so there is your reminder of how to find, sorry, I kind of cut off the triangle there, or cut off the prism there. Here's your reminder of how to find the volume of a triangular prism. Do number 17 and 18 on your own, and then start the video back up again and you can check your answers. Okay, hopefully you've tried number 17 and 18. Number 17, you're going to end up with a volume of 9,000 millimeters cubed. One of your triangular bases should be 600 millimeters squared, and your height would be 15 millimeters. And number 18, even though this is not a right triangle, they still give you the base measurement of 7 inches and the height of 12 inches. So you still use the base area as 1/2 of base times height. Your final answer here should be 630 inches cubed. And your area of your base should have been 42 inches squared. And your height in this case is the distance between the two triangles, so it would be 15 inches. So that's the one I should expect to see circled. And that's the end of page 1 of test review number 1.